Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So today we continue to get very bellicose rhetoric coming out of China in regards to their stance on Taiwan independence. And as we speak, there is an American delegation that is overtly meeting with Taiwanese government officials. And this is having a very negative effect on the communists in charge of the People's Republic of China. They continue to say that Taiwan, if it were to declare independence, that the Chinese would then use military force to stop this. The problem is Taiwan is independent. It is fully independent. It has been fully independent for decades and decades. And there's not much the Chinese can do about it. If the Chinese believed that they could have taken Taiwan, they would have done so. However, the Chinese do not believe they can take Taiwan. And I can also say that the Western media is probably giving China much more credit. It has more fear of Chinese capability than the actual Taiwan government does. I think the Taiwan government has a different perspective. I believe they actually know the capabilities of China, and there's not a lot of a fear coming out of the of Taiwan that would indicate that they are very worried about a Chinese invasion of a Taiwan. Again, we could see an attack on Kinmen, but an operation against the mainland of Taiwan is unlikely, and we continue to see Chinese Air Force aircraft continue to poke and prod at the air defense identification zone. But keep in mind, a lot of these occurrences are happening far from the main island of Taiwan, and they're probing down here far to the south. I can tell you, if a Chinese group of fighter bombers, multi-role aircraft were to get within 40 miles of the main island, and if Taiwan felt that these aircraft were a threat, Taiwan has the capability of eliminating these aircraft very quickly, and that's why you don't see Chinese aircraft getting in within 40 to 20 miles of the main island. They just won't do it. They know that they'll be shot down, and quite frankly, I don't believe that China is fully confident in its abilities. It's been a long time since China has been in conflict, and the last major engagement that China has fought was against Vietnam in the 1970s, the late 70s, and that didn't go very well for them. And even today, when there are issues in near India, and we see operations take place between Indian forces and Chinese forces, they oftentimes don't come out on the better end of things. Now, granted, it's a different scenario. It's high in elevation. There's some agreements that have been made not to use firearms for some reason, but again, there's not that operational art experience. Yes, China does hold amphibious landing training, and a lot of that is not a very large training. You oftentimes see one, two, maybe a maximum of 6 vessels with maybe at most a regiment-size force landing. So they're not training for large-scale, massive amphibious landings. We haven't seen that. We have not seen China do that sort of training. And again, as soon as China starts marshaling these vessels that would show any kind of intent, the Taiwan is going to go into high gear in terms of mobilizing reserves. And at the same time, China is very well aware that Taiwan has the ability to hit many targets inside of mainland China. And furthermore, if you look at the high-tech industry that is inside of Taiwan, the chip sector, the technology that we are seeing coming out of Taiwan in terms of anti-ship weapons, air defense systems. These are some high-grade systems that they're fielding, and as China would look to cross the straits, they would come under significant attack from these anti-ship systems. And again, you've got to be able to cross the straits in order to land troops. And if you land troops, there's no guarantee of a successful operation because you're going to have to maintain supply. You're going to have to eventually capture a port. And Taiwan has huge amounts of artillery where they can stand back and pound these port facilities. It is just, it's really a no-win scenario for China. And I think Taiwan knows this. I think China deep down knows this as well. And I mean, we could see an operation to take the outlying islands, but China has to face it. Taiwan is independent. They've lost their opportunity. And the United States, with the technology that exists inside of Taiwan, is not going to let the Chinese take that nation over. It would become a very strategic blunder on the part of the United States if the United States ever allowed the Chinese to seize Taiwan. It would start to put China at an advantage as it would control the island. But again, it can't control the island because it doesn't have the military capability to do it. And the United States, in the end, would stop the Chinese from launching said operation, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Thanks, everybody.